something. It's a thing. I'm just not sure what though. Hey guys, if you can't already tell, based on the background here in this ticket that I'm currently holding right up to the camera, I just got back from seeing Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which is not only the final movie in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, but also the final movie in the Skywalker saga. So it's the finale to a trilogy of trilogies, which, yeah, there's no way the fact that that can be an easy feat to do, because not only are you trying to wrap up one storyline for this trilogy, but you're also wrapping up a series of storylines that have been continuously building since 1977. So, yeah, chances are that the person who ended up doing this felt a little bit of pressure, and that person was obviously J.J. Abrams. So, I should probably go into a little bit of backstory on this. So, first of all, back in 2012, George Lucas sold Lucasfilms, and ergo the rights to Star Wars, over to the Walt Disney Corporation. And they decided that with that, they were now going to create their own sequel trilogy, which would take place after the events of Return of the Jedi, and would sort of show what happened. And when The Force Awakens came out, a lot of people were excited for it, as it was the first new Star Wars film that we had gotten in 10 years, and it was the continuation of Return of the Jedi, which was over 32 years beforehand. And not only this, but it's currently, it still holds the record for the most money made in a movie. It's currently the highest grossing North American movie of all time. Like, the majority of its money came from America, and it's still currently the highest grossing, like, domestic grossing movie in North America. And for the most part, people really did enjoy it. However, the one critique they did have was that they did feel like it was a bit too similar to A New Hope. Last Jedi came out. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and go near that can of worms, but let's just say the fact that a lot of people were very split on the issue of Rise of Skywalker. And there was still one movie left to go, by the way, that wasn't gonna come out until 2 years from now. And yeah, now we're up to Rise of Skywalker, and it's good. I've liked it. Albeit, I think the fact that it could have been better, but hey. As the title of this video states, this is just my initial thoughts. Probably gonna do a spoiler review soon. Probably going to do a spoiler review. I'm probably going to see the movie next week to try and see if I can be able to sit on this. And when I upload this video, it's actually going to mark the 1-year anniversary of when I started doing movie reviews all the way back in 2018 for when I first reviewed Into the Spider-Verse. So, yeah. That's cool, I guess. But, yeah, start at the beginning with Spider-Man. And then 1 year later, here I am talking about Star Wars. So, what is the plot of Rise of Skywalker? Well, the plot is, it is 1 year after the events of The Last Jedi. Rey is currently still training to better hone her Force abilities, with her new master being Leia. And Kylo Ren, having murdered Snoke, is now the supreme leader of the First Order. But there have been rumors circulating the fact that Snoke was just a distraction, and the Emperor himself, Palpatine, Darth Sidious, is back. And they're like, what are we going to do? And it's a race against time to try and see if they could be able to find and just stop the Emperor in the First Order, or the Resistance will just be gone like that. So, yeah. When I went into this movie, I was very hesitant. Not just when the eventual reviews and people's reactions came out. I was very hesitant because, yeah, let's just say the fact that when it comes to the Disney era of Star Wars films, people are very divisive on those movies. Like, when it comes to, I think as one person stated it, no one hates and critiques Star Wars more than actual fans of Star Wars. Now, keep in mind, I've been really enjoying the Disney era of Star Wars stuff, as I've stated before in my giant video talking about all the Star Wars films. How I did enjoy Force Awakens, despite it being way too similar to A New Hope. I did enjoy The Last Jedi, despite obvious problems. And very much like those films, I still really enjoy Rise of Skywalker. However, I do admit the fact that there could have been things that were could have done a little bit better. But if I did that, then it would be going into spoiler talk, and I want to save that for another time. Maybe in like a week or so, like before the end of the year happens. In addition to my thoughts on the entirety of The Mandalorian, I'll probably do like a spoiler talk about Rise of Skywalker. But I want to be able to do it in which it seems like enough time has passed in which everybody has seen it, but also that without it being too long in which people are not going to care. So I think I have it planned out. So on Monday, I will have a spoiler talk for Rise of Skywalker come out. So hopefully everybody has seen it and it will be fine. This is currently my initial thoughts that are non-spoilery. So, yeah. So, yeah, as it's been shown, Palpatine is back now. I thought it was cool. It's a cool idea to actually bring back Palpatine to close out it, because Palpatine has always been a foreboding force in all the Star Wars films. However, it definitely leads into one of my many major criticisms with the return of Palpatine, is that it very much feels like the fact that they kind of didn't have a roadmap when it came to this trilogy, because with Force Awakens, they were building up Snoke to be something big. But then Rian Johnson was like, nah, I'm going to just kill him off. And then when JJ was handed back the job of Episode 9, he's like, crap, what am I going to do? Okay, I got it. Palpatine. We'll bring him back. He was actually the one behind it all. It very much is something the fact that probably could have played out better if it was more properly set up. But unfortunately, we are going to have to deal with what we have. And I also want to mention real quick, J.J. Abrams wasn't even the original pick to do Rise of Skywalker. It was originally to be Colin Trevorrow, who did the Jurassic World movies. He was originally supposed to direct it, but he clashed with the head of Lucasfilms, Kathleen Kennedy, over creative differences and how supposedly his version would have been different. You see, Rian Johnson, when Rian Johnson got handed the job of Last Jedi, he was attached to direct. But he decided that he was going to start over with his own script. And ended up, Rian Johnson has always been known to be a subversive of expectations. So, honestly, in some parts, it really worked. Other parts, it just felt like he was subverting expectations just for the sake of subverting them and pretty much putting down people's fan theories. Yeah, so the circumstances surrounding Palpatine, definitely not a highlight. I also will admit the fact that the film, even though it's only at 2 hours, 21 minutes, it is very fast-paced. Like, it very much feels like the characters are not given enough time to breathe, which is understandable because they're trying to figure out how to stop this entire thing from happening, but I would have appreciated it if maybe we had, like, maybe one or two more scenes that showed the characters just, like, calming down, just trying to get some breathing time, get some, get, like, a breath of fresh air or something like that. Yeah. But, yeah, this film I want to mention real quick is only 2 hours and 21 minutes. Yeah. It definitely kind of doesn't feel like that, as I've stated before, with the pacing and such. But, yeah. But if I really want to go into more details, they'd be spoilery. And I'm going to save that for, of course, Monday's spoiler section. But I'm going to talk about the stuff that I did like about it. I did like how the fact that they were at least trying to be able to celebrate the entirety of the Star Wars saga. Not just the original trilogy, but also some elements of the prequels. Like, Palpatine, of course, is coming back, and he even has a line in here in which he states, "The dark side of the Force is a path to many abilities some would consider to be unnatural." Which is exactly what he told Anakin when he told him, "The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise." Back in Revenge of the Sith. That's actually a nice little callback there. Although, there were definitely some things, like I said before, there were definitely some, I think literally as one person put it as I was leaving the theater, they were like, there's still so many unanswered questions. Like, for example, how did Maz Kanata get the lightsaber of Luke Skywalker? Like, in Force Awakens, Han's like, how did you get that? And she's like, that is a story for another time. I want to know that story now. How on earth did you get that lightsaber? And there's so many other questions like that in which many people were like, wait, what? But yeah, there were definitely some elements like that, but I did like the fact that overall they were trying to celebrate the saga because this is the final movie. And not only that, but they also had to encompass, some elements of other media, but I will not talk about that until we get to the spoilers section. Very much like the other films, the performances from everybody around were really solid. Daisy Ridley does a pretty good job as the central protagonist of this new sequel trilogy. Rey, Finn and Poe are actually more involved with the storyline this time. Like, they're not off on some side quest or whatever, they're actually involved. Rey is actually involved with them, and they're trying to be able to figure out how to find the Emperor, because that's pretty much the plot. They're trying to be able to figure out how to find the Emperor and stop him. But, yeah. Not only that, but it definitely seems like there's a lot of contention within the group. Like, at the opening, like, in Force Awakens, they were really, really good friends, and, they really weren't, in the opening, when, Rey was off training, when Poe was, after they showed the sneak preview for this, on episode 7 of The Mandalorian, it was when they were trying to get the, something from the weird alien creature who was actually voiced by Mark Hamill, I want to mention. And then, the yell, and, Poe is getting, like, really defensive, and he's, like, getting super upset at the fact that, Rey should have been with them or whatever. It's like, okay, that's a bit weird, but sure. Not only that, but the ending, like, the third act was actually really good. I really did like it when they actually did go to their final fight. I'm not going to say specifics as what exactly happened, but it actually was really cool about what actually did transpire. Although, yeah, overall, I did really enjoy Rise of Skywalker. Thought the fact that there were, of course, obvious problems. Really felt like that they probably should have had a roadmap about what exactly they were going to plan this trilogy to be like, because the obvious example of this is Snoke and Palpatine, because it's obvious they were building Snoke up to be the next Palpatine, but then he got killed in Last Jedi, and it's like, how about we actually just bring back Palpatine for this one? But yeah, if I wanted to go into any more specific story details, it would go into spoiler territory, so I would need to save that. So, yeah, overall, I did like the movie. I'm not going to give it a score yet, because I still need some time to sit on it. I'll probably have a score by the time we get to the spoiler review. But yeah, I definitely will state the fact that it's not in my favorite films of the year list, but I will admit it's at the least an honorable mention. I did like the movie, so highly recommend that you see it for yourself and make your own opinions. Yeah, I just want to let you know that. Just see it for yourself, judge it. If you liked it, that's actually really good. If you didn't like it, sure, that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. Just don't try and belittle others on the internet for having an enjoyment of something that you didn't. It's not cool at all. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the fact that we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of this channel by having me talk about Star Wars. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, stay gold. And also, tune in Monday for when I do the spoiler talk, so stay tuned for that.